Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
We got a special guest. This guest has had like 20 years in broadcasting. He's the co-host of Hot 97's Ebro in the Morning, co-host and co-founder of one of the first hip-hop podcasts, Juan Epstein, with our favorite Boricua, right?
Yeah.
Cypher Sounds.
Favorite comedy.
You got to say the first, or he's gonna get very upset.
Really?
I'm more forgiving, but he's very.
Is it the first? Because I was thinking of
no. Combat Jack was
Combat
after us.
Jack, yeah.
He was after us. Yeah.
Combat Jack was after you guys.
Yes, as credited by Reggie. God bless the dead. But yeah, no. He gave us the He gave us the nod. But then when other people say it, they still don't want to give us the nod.
Okay,
but I understand. They may not know. They know.
So I stand corrected. Co-host and co-founder of the first hip hop podcast, Juan Epstein, with our favorite Puerto Rican, Cypher Sounds. He's a panelist on the WWE.
Yep.
He's also self-proclaimed himself the most knowledgeable figure in hip hop.
I don't know. That was a long time ago. That was a long time.
And we're actually going to put that to the test today.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
I hope it's not about anything post 2003.
No. And you know what, man? You either hate him or you love him, and we happen to love him here at the R.O.A.D podcast. We want to welcome DJ PMD, aka Peter Rosenberg.
Also, the first WWE champ we have on the podcast.
Wow.
24/7 champ.
Thank you. That
Peter
was
Rosenberg.
Another highlight. Guys, thank you. This is super cool. Ever since Syph told me he did the podcast and how good it was, and I started following you guys, I was like, oh, this is actually the kind of podcast I'd like to go do.
Yeah.
Nice. Appreciate it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm telling you, just hearing your voice through these microphones, it's a little chilling because I would hear it on the radio in New York, and it's kind of crazy.
You got him right here with us.
Yeah, I'm getting like chills, bro.
That's it. That's bugged to hear because I dreamed of that for so long, to be a voice on Hot 97. So now when I think about how many years it's been, and to think that I've been, it's very hard to step outside and see yourself, you know, and be like what you are to other people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, but my voice. Like, I meet people who are 25 years old and they say, I've been listening to you since I was a kid. And I'm like, shut up. And then I do the math. I'm like, oh no, you were 10 years old.
The first time I heard you, I was 14, 15 years old.
Wow. How old are you guys?
33.
Wow.
45.
You're 45?
Yeah.
52. Asian don't crack.
Asian or black don't crack.
Yeah, unfortunately, anything short of that, we're cracking.
Yo, so DJ PMD, right? Where'd you get that name? Because we did a little research. That was like your DJ name in college, but Marley Marl gave that shit to you? It stands for what? Peter from Maryland.
Peter from Maryland. It's a very generic, but also now kind of cool story.
This is real.
This is real. And it was really my name until Hot 97. I mean, it was really the only thing I went by in the DC hip hop scene was PMD. And like, yeah, it's crazy that it's been now so long that it's not my name.
Yeah.
But basically, when I was a little kid, we were visiting New York. My brother was he was the one who was really into like hip hop and listening to the radio. And we were listening to Marley Marl in Control, or sorry, the operating room, whatever the.
No, it was In Control, Marley Marl.
The show was In Control, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was just confusing with the album title.
No.
So yeah, In Control. We were listening to In Control and on BLS, and Marley did a contest for the new EPMD single, So What You Saying.
Wow.
Right.
Damn.
By the way, it was a giveaway of the cassette, which is hilarious. That was even a contest.
The cassette.
It costs more to send the cassette than to
go buy it.
So when he's doing the contest, I called up and I won.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
And I gave they say, hey, you know, that feeling when you get through to the radio and it sounds all chaotic, you hear like the beep. Hey, with WBLS, what's your name? And I give my name and they say, oh, you won the contest, give us your information. And I said, hey, my name's Peter, blah, 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 my address. I said, give him my address. It's Chevy Chase, Maryland. And so
Chevy Chase.
And so they go through, exactly, that's a whole nother story. So they go through, and when they're shouting out the winners, because they gave away 5 cassettes or whatever it was. And when they get to me, they go, shout out to so-and-so from Brooklyn, this one from Queens. Shout out to PMD. Oh, no, they go, shout out to Peter from Maryland. They go, my man called long distance. Of course, I wasn't long. That's not how it works. There was no streaming back then. I was in Queens at the time. But so that was it. Once they said Peter from Maryland, I was like, oh, that's going to be like my rap name. I was only 10 at the time, but I was like, that's going to be like my rap name. And I kept that as my DJ moniker all the way until I got to Hot 97. And when Ebro hired me, he was like, your name should not be PMD. It's generic. Like your name should be Rosenberg, you know? And obviously he knew what he was doing. He understood that there was something to that.
Yeah.
You know? Which is funny because I recently had this like whole back and forth, actually it was more of a positive conversation with Lord Jamar, where like we finally like discussed his many qualms with me over the years, most of which were ridiculously unfounded once we actually went through them all. It was actually quite satisfying.
Checkmate.
But one thing that he pointed out was that he found it sort of, he sort of found the audacity of my name in hip hop to be annoying. Like, you didn't even think you had to like come up with a cool name. Like, who do you think you are? And it's so funny. I mean, it's silly on several levels, but B, I'm like, that wasn't even me. That wasn't my idea. That was actually Ebro's idea to call me about Rosenberg. Now listen, he was right. It was generic.
That's like Carlos Mencia's argument.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you changed your name. He's like, I didn't name myself.
Yeah.
Mitzi did.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name was like something corny, right?
Yeah, he has like a real like
Edgar or
something
crazy.
I heard this recently, and
well, Mitzi was like, "No, your name from the Comedy Store." She was like, "No, Carlos Mencia," because at that time it was like you're either a Mexican comedian or you're nothing. They didn't care that he was what
he's
Nicaraguan,
Salvadorian.
He's from. So she just was like, "Carlos Mencia, that's your new name," and everyone wanted to be at.
The comedy store.
Everyone wanted to be at the comedy store, so they're just like, "Fuck it, my new name."
Well, at least my new name was my old name.
Yeah. It's your original name that your mom gave you.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that when you fell in love with radio, kind of a little bit?
I mean, that was the beginning. Those
with New York radio,
those days listening to the radio and really discovering hip hop, you know, as it was happening.
Yeah,
which I feel like so blessed to have done. Like, it was such a unique experience. And at that time, like in Maryland, where we were growing up, it's not like everyone was falling in love with hip hop. Like it was slowly emerging, but it's not like everyone was up on EPMD where we were at. You know what I mean? Or Eric B and Rakim. Like it was actually like this unique, interesting thing that I've sort of. It's changed so much over time. Like I used to be an anomaly. Like I used to be like. Yo, there's this white boy, he knows so much about hip hop. And it was like, it was really like interesting in school. Like people would be like, oh, you're into hip hop? You got to talk to Peter. He's the one who's really into hip hop. And it's part of why I wanted to, I think, continue to be a part of it. I liked that feeling of being the person who was like really into something and knowledgeable. So yeah, that was the beginning. And then there was sports radio that I love too. Like as a medium in general, I find radio and audio, because now it's all the same shit anyway.
Yeah.
But I find it to be a really warm medium. You know what I mean? Like right now we're recording this sitting here, but when people are hearing it, they're doing some part of their day, and this is a very intimate thing for them. We're either in their ears at the gym, or as they're walking to work, or they're in the car with their family.
Yeah.
I just feel like it allows you to play a really cool role in people's lives. And yeah, that was sort of the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how you just become a part of their routine, their daily routine, especially if they listen to you like on the radio every day, every fucking morning.
Yeah,
you know, they just hear that and your voice, and like your voice becomes a part of their whole life, their life.
I know, and I get it, because listen, I'm a fan too. Like I have phases with Howard Stern, depending on if my car has free Sirius or not. So when I get a new lease. Yeah, and it comes with the Sirius.
The first 6 months or a year,
I'm back, and then I'll end up being like, fuck it, and I'll pay, and it'll run for like 5 years. Get a new car, it doesn't have Sirius, I'm out again. But since I was a teenager now, I would say like over half those years I've been very into Stern. I come in and out.
Yep.
And I really I get people's connection to what we do.
He's still the best too.
Yeah, he's still the best.
Like listening to what he does, he's still the fucking best.
Yeah, well, I just think that their ability to fuck off. So here's my hot take on Howard. Yeah. And I don't think it's that hot a take, but it'll be perceived that way. The most overrated thing about Howard are his interviews. Like everyone's like, Howard Stern is the best interview. You have to do Howard Stern.
I would say his segments were
I'm going to say, yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
It's his interviews, honestly, he reads all the research papers he's given.
Yeah.
And then he often gets things completely wrong and leads them into directions that they're like, that's not what I was trying to say at all.
Yeah.
He'll force an idea like, I would feel like if I were you, I'd hate the so blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, I don't remotely feel that way. Now, I'm not saying it's like horrible or anything. It's pretty good. But that's not what makes him the GOAT. Like to me, it's really when they don't have a guest and it's just them on an hour of doing news. Honestly, it's during Robin's news that Howard's the best. Interrupting, going into weird fantasies, changing directions, picking up a call and going like playing characters with people.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's where he's brilliant. There are a lot of people who do good interviews, and he's among them. But to me, his calling card is just that fucking around shit, and that's what I've always wanted to emulate. Is like my shows when they go off the rail. Like that's what I truly enjoy doing.
Were you trying to do that early on when you were on like DC radio, kind of like you were doing skits and stuff? Isn't that how Ebro found you?
Well, I was doing video skits. So
video skits.
So I was doing YouTube skits, and that's how I got discovered. My radio stuff was. It was all Stern light, bullshit. I was actually my first big break. I was an intern for Tigger of Rap City fame and just DC legend hip hop legend fame. I was Tigger's intern at WPGC 95.5. And then I was taught the boards by the great DJ Flex. I mean, y'all are DJs. You probably know his record, Water Dance. It's like one of the best DC records ever.
Yeah.
Flex taught me.
I mean, you're in the city of Go-Go, right there.
And it's a go-go anthem,
right?
Flex used to play it a lot.
Yeah.
Flex used to play because DJ Flex starts Water Dance with "It's on fire tonight," and like Flex used that. Funkmaster Flex used to say that. Funkmaster Flex put DJ Flex on 2 of his albums. Like DJ Flex is his own thing. Saw him today because he's here for the fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a wonderful run-in. I hope my fiance. I want to get to introduce my fiance to him because he was super special to me. So I work at WPGC.
The Water Dance was big in New York, too.
It was, yeah.
Big.
Definitely.
Huge.
Wait, are you guys from New York?
Yeah.
Oh, you're both from New York.
We from New York.
I'm from LA.
I'm from like Manhattan, Uptown, and he's from the Bronx.
Oh, okay. This is important context. I'm sorry I should have asked that sooner. So yeah, Flex used to run the Water Dance. Like it was on a regular Saturday night shit, and he threw it on 60 Minutes of Fun.
I mean, I was like a backpacker at the time, so I would be like, what the fuck is this? Like, play fucking, Black Moon or some shit.
Right. And he would use it as like a bridge record. He would use it as like a, get from that to then maybe a Crooklyn Clan record or like whatever.
But no, like I still, like later on, I appreciated the fuck out of it. I was like, oh, the Water Dance is hitting.
Oh, it's so hard.
Then you start going to clubs and you're like, yo, this shit, you start see people dancing and shit. You're like, yo, the Water Dance is hitting.
It's
all that shit that I hated was like hitting.
And then I used to always play it. I'm sure we'll get into more DJ shit, but like, I used to always play it with Mary J. Blige remix because the Real Love remix because it has the Cleanup Woman sample. Right, it was just a great way to.
And then you would go into the do 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 call fire.
Oh, I love.
And it was the remix one with the Cleanup Woman sample in that. Yeah. Remember that the Zulu chant.
The Zulu chant. The Zulu chant again. Fire. Yep. Love Zulu chant.
That was like the go-to record at that time.
Yep.
By the way, Flex. I mean, I don't know who. I wasn't in the clubs, so I don't know. But for me as an outsider, Flex created so many, back to Funkmaster Flex, he created so many mini routines for DJs that you would just hear him play like, oh, he plays those break records every time?
Yeah.
I'm going to play those break records every time.
Yeah.
Or like throwback records. My whole throwback set was, I remember there was bootlegs that were straight up just the records Flex would play. Like I have one bootleg that was Bounce Rock, Skate Roll, Frankie Beverly and Maze. Like outstanding, like all of his shit that he was just hitting, it would be A side and B side, all the joints you need. Anyways, so I got my start at WPGC, and I got eventually after going to a small market, I came back. I did overnights, did that for a while, did weekends, filled in every time slot. Eventually got fired, and when I got my first break, it was at a talk radio station in DC, 106.7 WJFK, and at that time, Howard was the morning show.
Really?
So Howard was mornings, and then I ended up I replaced these cats named Ron and Fez, who left for Sirius. I took their slot at night for a while, did 6 months of that, and that was some of the most, I've recently been reminiscing through it. I found like a mini diary of mine.
Wow.
and the diary ends when I got the job. But that led me down a path of like looking through old emails and like kind of trying to figure out what my mindset was. And actually, if you ever really want to bug out, and I should not tell anyone this, but like these kids, these high school kids actually came and made a documentary about me. And it's on my YouTube. It's the first videos ever put up on my YouTube page. You go find it. I'm not telling anyone about it, but it's there. It's a 5-part. It's a 5-part doc about
5 parts?
Yes. Well, it's like 12 minutes each. Like 10 minutes each.
Someone called Netflix. Someone called Netflix.
Shit, that's a long time.
It's like genius. It's like genius. We had to cut it down from 40 hours. No, it's like 45 minutes or something. But I'm crazy in it. Like I really was wild at that time, and like I would use the show to just hit on women and like be like Howard. I want to be like Howard, except I was single and young and didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would talk about politics, talk about sports, talk about all kinds of shit. They eventually gave me a midday show. I went from doing the night show where I was wildin' to then they put me on 10 a.m. to noon, and I preceded the Bill O'Reilly show.
Damn.
So like it changed my style. I had to be like now like a more like political talk.
Yeah.
Granted, I was still like the liberal political talk, but still I had to talk about like issues.
Did you like have to change your voice to like corporate voice?
I did.
You did?
I know I naturally somewhat did.
We all have a corporate voice, right?
Yeah, we all do.
Yes.
I started doing it now.
I want to hear your night voice, the night show voice, and then I want to kind of hear.
Honestly, I don't think I can give you either voice because I think they're both gone.
You get the 97 voice.
But if you listen to me on Hot 97, everyone always like says to me, I get that as an insult from time to time. They'll call like the ESPN show and they'll be like, guys, Rosenberg sounds way different in the morning. He tries to be someone else. Yeah, I do. I do talk somewhat like the people I'm around. I think that's relatively normal.
Yeah.
I think code switching is like this thing that's seen as like terrible or something. I think it's just like a human, like when you hang out with your boys, you talk one way. When you hang out with your grandmother, you talk another way. Like it's sort of life.
Yeah, when you're talking with your boss or when you're talking in an interview, you're going to talk completely different ways.
Yeah, so if I'm in a room with 3 hip hop heads, and then I'm in a room with 2 over 50 white sports talk guys,
yes,
I'm going to sound different. Like my voice quality, you may hear in both, you will hear, both exist in both.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are times when I'm on Hot 97 where I sound very much like I sound right now, like super nerdy and broadcasty.
Yeah.
And then there are times when I sound like we're clowning on each other and I'm happy. You know, it's just situational.
But you also come from a generation where we had to do that a lot more. And it was like deemed acceptable.
Yeah.
Because like, you had a corporate voice. We all had a corporate
We all have,
voice.
of course, yes.
We all had that shit. But now like they don't want to do that shit.
Let's see how it works out. I'm still waiting to see. I have become that old guy now who like really like I fight against it because I don't want to seem like that guy, but I so don't have respect for like so much of the way the generations below us see trying to get on. Like I can't even lie about it. Like I do lie about it. I'll be like, no, give everyone a chance. But in reality, I'm like,
that was your morning show voice, right there.
It's afternoon. It's my afternoon voice.
Afternoon voice.
No, but
ESPN talk.
The like interning for free is disgusting. That's like slave labor, and you know, I should be paid. Those conversations get me so incredibly tight.
Yeah.
The idea that if you're 18. Generally, I'm not speaking about everyone, like the geniuses pop up. Absolutely. By and large, if you were like let's say you were of my talent level, that's all I can speak to. The idea that you would contribute anything worth pay at 18 years old is fucking absurd. What you can contribute to me is the ability to learn while being here and go move our fucking cars and go get food and come back. That is, and they're like, that's not learning. And I'm like, nope, it is. You will get to the steps then where you think you just show up at 18? They're like, yo, put me in front of the mic, dog. I'm ready to go. No. I just don't, I do not understand. Like, I get why they're making the argument. It sounds really great, but like, fuck out of here. I do not know anyone who got good at a craft who was really able to contribute in a way where they should be making a salary when they were under 22 years old. Show them to me. Maybe they're out there, but I don't know.
I think
it
you're
wasn't
being
me.
nice at 22.
Yeah, 22 is nice.
Yeah, you're being too nice. I think it's like 25, 27.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of when I got beyond hourly money. Like, I don't think I made anything beyond hourly. When I was doing college, when I was doing radio, on the air, commercial radio in DC, up until I got the talk show, which was when I was 25. Up until that 25, bro, it was like, started out like 7 an hour, and then I was getting by the end maybe like 12 an hour to host on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's what the game was.
It's because also, like, you know, creatives back in the day, there wasn't like, it wasn't a thing for motherfuckers to get paid doing anything creative.
No.
So everyone just looked at you like you were psycho if you wanted to DJ as a career, or you wanted to paint or do anything. It's normalized now. Everyone's kind of getting paid
Well, and I'm glad
for all this
people are-
creative work.
And listen,
You
and
know?
I was privileged, you know, and I don't ignore my privilege in that it's easier to work for nothing if you come from a little something. Absolutely, that's true. But the fact of the matter is, these times that I'm talking about where I wasn't making anything, while I may have had the security of parents I could go home to, and I did have that, like if I needed to run home, I could have. I was living on my own. I was already out surviving, hustling, making money in clubs, DJing, so I could do the radio shit that didn't pay.
So you would actually spinning in clubs and shit.
That was my, that's how I made my, that was how I basically survived from like, you know, end of college for 4 years, 3-4 years. That was my bread and butter. Tuesday.
Like your early 20s, right?
Yeah, my early 20s
22
were
to 28.
Tuesday, Thursday, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of times Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was out, you know. I was out.
How much were you making at that time? I'm just curious.
No, let me try. I believe I'm pretty comfortable saying I was like 200 a night.
Damn.
Was you DJing in New York?
No,
This
no.
is Maryland?
This is Maryland. This is all Maryland.
And this is from what, 10 to close?
Like,
Yeah.
but you guys close at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m.?
2 on week. It would be
2 on the weekdays, 3 a.m. on a Saturday or something,
correct.
right?
So it would be on Thursday night. I'd be done at 1:45.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, Friday night, I'd be done at 2:45. I'd get there. I get there 8:30. You know, I'd throw on a couple CDs. I'd pop in some CDs and just go like sit at the bar and talk to the dudes who ran the place. And then, you know, 9:30, 9:45, get in the booth and start and go for 4 hours.
And was you popping? Was you like,
Well, I was in the poppin' spot at my school.
Yeah.
So basically I went to University of Maryland where I was a college radio DJ playing underground shit. During the 4 years where I was in college, I would DJ occasionally. Like I'd get hired to do a frat party. I'd do this random underground hip hop event and I would DJ on my radio show. And then towards the end of college.
so you had all the records, so you was good. You had all the records.
What?
Yeah.
By the time it was the end, I was fucking lit. I had.
What songs was popping when you was DJing?
I want some like deep DC, like Maryland cuts that was here.
All the shit that was working for the
Yeah.
most part.
Well, I mean, that's going to be go-go cuts.
Yeah, all those go-go shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I didn't play a ton of go-go in the club. Like this was a college club,
Yeah.
so it wasn't a lot of DC people. So it's a lot of New York people, honestly. So that played well for me because like my interest would be to play Mobb Deep and 50 and stuff like that. And that worked at the University of Maryland. I mean, Maryland's got to be, Maryland, I don't know about now. When I was there, Maryland had to be 40% New Jersey, you know, 35.
Really?
Yeah, it had to be between northern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, and New York. It felt like half the school, honestly. And then like the other half was Maryland. And then like sprinkled in Florida and random other places. So I would get away with playing a lot of New York stuff. But man, this is the Ja era. This is the 50
The
era.
Fabulous era.
Fab,
yeah.
Lil Mo era. Those rang off crazy, all those singles.
Can't let you go.
Yo, I went through the development of technology at that time, though, happened while I was at that club. It was called Lupo's in College Park, and these kids I knew owned it. They were like a few years older than me, had some money somehow. I don't even know how they had money. The older brother, and they had this club, and it was the spot. 3 nights a week where everyone went out. All the hot chicks went out there. All the football players went out there. I met my ex-wife there. Like it was the spot, you know? And it was a scene. And I would start it out with turntables. I brought my turntable. I would have to bring my turntables there.
Damn.
I believe I brought them every time. Did they get me some eventually?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then I had a trunk. I left because I was doing it so often. I left my party records there. It's one of those situations.
We all did that.
Yeah, that was a move. If you had a regular spot, eventually you're like,
because you wanted to leave, and like if there was a shorty, you wanted to leave with the shorty and not be stuck with.
Now bring your trunk with you.
Exactly.
all these records.
So,
Yo, baby, hold the other hand.
so I went straight up old school, like sleepaway camp trunk full of records that I would lock. And then people would come and chicks would fucking stand on it and start breaking it, you know.
Yeah.
And then because my setup there was lifted, it was like a little stage. The DJ booth was above the floor, and so you'd go around to the back, and then you had to step a big step, like you could bust your ass kind of step up to where I stood. So like the amount of nights that like I'm helping chicks get up there, you know, because they all wanted to be up. They wanted to be up in the DJ booth and see over like girls in clubs have a tendency to want to be. And so it started out with the records in the club, and then during that time I saw it go to CDJs, and then by the end it was beginning of Serato. That was literally like that era.
And were you comfortable with the CDJs or not? You were like,
I went, psh, what was I comfortable? When they said, when I realized, when it clicked in my, so someone at WPGC had one, an incredible DJ who doesn't get his credit at all, but sort of because he's all over the place. I can't say it's even the world's fault. He's sort of an all over the place kind of guy, but he was a pit bull. You may have heard Flex shout him out back in the day. His name is the Funk Regulator CeeLo. DJ CeeLo. The Funk Regulator CeeLo. Nice. I mean, one of the cleanest fucking DJs of all time. So good in every regard. And he had the CDJ at PGC. And I like saw him fuck with it. I was like, what the fuck? Like the first time I saw a CDJ scratch and make that sound, I was like, oh my God. Found out they were like $1,000 each. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm saving up. Done. I have to do this. When it really clicked, when I was like, wait a second. If I have any song, I now have doubles. And I can just burn 2 CDs.
Yeah.
Bruh, it changed my life. So I bought these 2 little, I went to, I saved up, I got them. Actually, you know, they may have even fronted me. They may have even fronted me in my club to get them because I was like, I need to get these right now. I'll pay you back. Like this needs to happen. They started out. I think they retailed at $9.99 to start. This is the first ever CDJ. One of my great regrets is that overstating a bit. I sold them the second I got a radio job. I fucking sold them, and I wish I had the original.
I think it was the CDJ 800s, right?
No, these are the 1000s.
These are the 1000s.
Yes, the 1000s were first. The 800s, I believe, were the ones they like. Weren't quite as good.
The cheaper
they
version.
were cheaper.
Yeah.
The 1000s were sturdy.
Yeah.
The 1000s were honestly, they were the 1200 of the CDJs, and to this day,
they're the
like even my Pioneer 1000 that I have now, the SRT, that's basically they're CDJs.
Yeah.
It's still 1000s that are basically built in there.
Yeah.
So I go out and get like 2. I went to Home Depot and got like 2 drill cases.
Yeah.
Fit the CDJs perfect. Had a little thing on top where I put the plug separate. Boom, CDJ fits so clean. And I would now, instead of fucking records and needles and turntables and everything, I would throw on my backpack. In my backpack, I had the headphones, maybe 2 books of CDs. And then I would just hold both CDJs in these light ass, relatively to turntable cases. I mean, is there anything more fucking heavy than a flight case?
No.
The worst item
At
ever
least
made.
45 pounds is the worst.
No, in fact, I want to say right now, if anyone's listening, whoever was behind the technology of flight cases is the dumbest creator of all time. There's no way. I understand you need to protect the turntable. Believe me, I do. There had to be a better way to do it than those fucking flight cases.
I hated the flight plate. I hated the long ass ones that had the 2 turntables. The coffins were the worst. Those were the fucking worst.
I used to always think I wanted a coffin because of like juice and shit like that. And then when I eventually saw tried to lift one up, I was like, what the fuck? How could you do this?
And then trying to get that shit in the car was the worst.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
And then the mixer might not fit. And you got, anyways. So the CDJ was I thought once I realized I could just burn CDs, and you know, I'm sure at that point Syph like went through, I know he did, and he burned the most organized CDs of all time. My shit was disaster, but it worked for me. It would be like, I don't know if you guys did this, it would be like March,
March.
and I'd have 15 songs on it. And then the next month, I would just keep making new CDs, and I'd have to remember in my brain, there was no database.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
I would just be like, it's the one that says PMD songs March, but it worked, and I knew everything would be in order too, so you can just go flip through and get the songs you needed. It was fantastic.
Wait, so when you went to Hot 97, you completely abandoned like your DJing, like?
You mean in any sort of like club way?
Yeah.
Party rocking way.
In any regular way. I mean, I've had regular. No. Let me not.
Because I'm thinking like if you went to Hot 97, you must have wanted to be a mixer, right? You wanted to have a mix show. You wanted to be like Flex. You know what I'm saying? And
Like do the clubs and shit.
yeah, but did you have to like?
I just wanted the mix show though. I mean, like, you know, which I still have. I wanted a mix show bad. The club part, I didn't aspire to it. It was always a means for me. Like it was a means to an end. Don't get me wrong. I have nights DJing that I have loved and that have meant a lot to me. But it wasn't like something I never thought about like, oh my God, that feeling when I look up and I'm rocking the crowd. Like I've had those nights and I'm like, I love this. And I feel like this is I feel like I found my people in DJs.
Yeah.
But my calling was to be doing it at a radio station where I'm talking and playing music.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Syph shits on my DJing always.
Well, of course he is.
Always. And don't get me wrong, relative to some of the mixers that I work with at Hot 97, I am ass. But when it comes to like actually playing a party for the crowd that I'm there to play for, I love myself as a DJ. Like Syph doesn't actually ever been to a gig of mine.
Selection wise.
Yeah, I love my and even like I'm very, and I'll be pretty clean too. I don't try. Like I don't work hard enough with the mixing at a party to fuck it up. Syph has heard me try to mix and try too hard and knows that I can be trash. He's never seen me at a wedding when I'm like not trying to fuck up anyone's wedding. I just want to rock out and fucking murder. He's never been there for that.
He's only for the train wrecks.
He's only there for the train wreck.
You're getting married, right?
Yes.
Who's gonna DJ your reception?
Syph is doing a set.
Did he do your last?
He did. He did a set at the last one. Tony Touch did my wedding though.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit. Nice,
shit.
man.
Tony Touch did my wedding the first time, and Syph jumped on and Syph hosted. This time though,
It's all Syph?
no, this time I'm marrying a girl from Queens. This sums up the difference between my first wedding and my second wedding.
Yeah.
The first rap song I ever had any experience with my ex-wife, and I do like the song, but take it, once I say it, it becomes clear, was Nelly.
Yeah. Dilemma.
Ride With Me.
Okay,
Ride With Me.
Oh,
Even
sure.
worse than Dilemma. Worse than
Why you shitting on Nelly, man?
the first rap song I ever shared in any way with my soon-to-be wife was the song Blueprint 2 off Blueprint 2 by Jay-Z.
Oh, the snakes.
To bring the horns in?
Yeah, bring the horns in.
Where she was rapping it on the phone to me, and I was like, I don't know the words to this shit. I don't, like, she's a real Queens girl who loves New York
wow.
shit. So this time we're going different level. It's Syph, Cass One, Flex is doing an hour.
Really?
Yeah, and then I've been deciding on who I want for like the last piece. Might be Mr. C. I'm leaning towards Mr. C.
Mr. C is crazy.
He's so good. I mean, he's just
crazy,
and he's my guy. Like I still I text with C almost every day, so like it just feels like that would be cool. But like, there's so many people there. Like Camilo is one of the great party DJs of all time.
Be there.
Enough is such a great DJ.
Another one, legend.
So
damn, you got to sell this live mix of your wedding.
I know.
By the way,
get on SoundCloud.
By the way, though, that is a really fun, at least a bonus for the One Ep listeners, right?
Yeah.
Like that mix.
Yeah.
Have everyone record their mix.
I'd fucking listen to that.
Yeah, who would want to hear?
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see where everyone goes. Now I feel like some level of pressure because my girl, you know, she loves New York hip hop, and I like feel pressure to like pull out like someone to show up and perform. And I don't feel like dealing with it. Like I don't want to make my wedding feel like mini summer jam where I'm sitting there stressing, like looking at my watch.
You don't want Peter Palooza?
Yeah,
Peter Palooza back, bro.
those were stressful days, bro.
Dude, you had dope lineups though. I was telling the guys, you had some dope ass lineups.
No, those were some.
Yo, you were like busy. Like I was looking at your resume. You had, this is pretty crazy.
I went for it.
You had mixtapes first of all, right? You had the What's Poppin' Volume 1 mixtape.
Yeah.
You had the New York Renaissance mixtape.
Yeah.
And you had J. Cole, Kendrick, Odd Future, A$AP Rocky, Action Bronson, Joey Badass on those.
Those are all original songs, by the way.
Original songs.
Yeah.
And then you were on TV.
You got to say that loud and clear now with Kendrick. That's Kendrick.
That's Kendrick. I want to give you your flowers because I heard you break Kendrick in New York. Like you were the first one to play him out there, and I was like, I'm from LA, so we've been seeing him for a long time. But you were definitely in the forefront to push Kendrick.
Yeah, I did well with Kendrick, and it also, the Kendrick thing is a gift and a curse because I love him and love them, you know, so much, and love the music so much. It also like soured my relationships with people too, because
really,
why is that?
Because people are, you would be shocked how much like some of your favorite artists are just, listen,
they're insecure.
They're insecure. Like all of us are. I shouldn't even say it like a diss because I'm the same way, right? Yeah. So like when they hear me going, Kendrick's the best,
right?
And I have a really loud platform, they take that, I get it. If I heard someone every day being like, you know, Bootleg Kev is the best, I'd be like, yo, fuck Bootleg Kev. Now, seriously, I'd be like, trust Bootleg Kev. I'd be like, actually, he's my friend. But you know what I'm saying? Like, whoever that DJ may be, I can see how even if you liked the person, you'd be like, fuck that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is a point of time when Kendrick was really like Section 80.
It was, well, the truth is, I first got on him on Section 80. So pause. It was Ronald Reagan era was the first record I ever played by him. So it was late. I don't want to make it sound like I was early by LA standards because I wasn't, but by New York standards,
you were by New York standards.
No, Ronald Reagan era clean. I had a clean of Ronald Reagan era. That was early.
If you would have told me, yo, overly dedicated, I would have been like, wow, I'm really surprised. But Section 80 is still early for a lot of people.
No, it is. It is. And then I was doing this whole underground thing. We're like,
late with ROSENBERG.
Yeah, and I still do it. Real Late is every Sunday night, midnight to 2, and I'm still playing.
Busy, man.
Underground artists.
Stay working, man.
Stay working.
Well, and that's the one that gets no glory. People don't even remember that it's on.
Yo,
you like people. Oh, I remember when you used to do. I'm like, I still do.
No,
and I don't get paid for it. And every Sunday, no matter how tired I am, this weekend after the fight, when I get home, no matter what happens, I got to be going through emails to get my shit together to put a show on.
By the way, you have one of the best legendary Childish Gambino freestyles on that show.
Yes, I do. That was
incredible.
That was up there. That was a good one. Listen, it's had its moments that were great. I love that show. I'm very, very proud of it. But yeah, man, I've stayed busy. It's like that point of that list, bro. I got some shit. And by the way, like the amount of songs that are actually like, I've thought about trying to put out all of the best of those mixtapes. Because I did a Cypress Hill mixtape that doesn't even get listed, I don't think, but I did a Cypress Hill mixtape where they hired me to do a tape for them when they were putting out an album called The Uprising. So I did,
what year was that?
11.
2011.
So I did that, and I had covers from, you know, I got Jim Jones doing I Want to Get High. I had Yellow Wolf doing I Ain't Going Out Like That. That's one of the best rap covers you'll ever hear anyone ever do. I know Yellow Wolf is kind of gone into Bizarro World, but he bodied that. And then I did the What's Poppin' shit, the New York Renaissance. I had Rocky and Ferg and Bronson and Joey and all those people. I put my foot in it for a long time. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot you was on Hip Hop Squares. You was
hosted the original Hip Hop Squares.
That one. Yeah.
And this is just hip hop.
They rewrote me. They redid it, and we're like, you know, we feel in 20 whatever year it came back, 19. This show would be better without Peter Rosenberg as the host.
Really?
Yeah, I did. But no, that was Hip Hop Squares was crazy too. Like, and the amount of people that were on that show, and it was a sick experience. It didn't go well. Yo, I've done so many. Same as the other day though. I've done so many things that have failed. It's wild. Like
we were kind of talking about the Complex show
yeah. That's another thing that failed that I loved. I really enjoyed that.
That was
the
cool,
YouTube. Though. It was like a late night show. It was like
it's basically a video version of his hip hop show on Sunday.
Yeah. But like we did a lot.
Yeah, more detail.
We tried to like really tried to make it like a full kind of show.
Yeah.
And like that's not really, even to this day, that's not how the internet's really consumed. Like people don't really watch shows that have like multiple different scenes of different things. Like we did it like a straight up variety kind of show.
Yeah.
I love how some of it looked. If you go back and look at it right now, you'll be like, yo, there's some really cool shit on here.
It looked like it was a lot of work.
It was
looked like.
bro, in the middle. And I could have made it so much better if I didn't have 2 other fucking jobs. It was basically impossible. And I'm proud of that show. Failed.
How long did that last?
I wouldn't say fail.
I mean, I made some money and we did some cool interviews.
No, you had some dope interviews.
There's one thing that I'm proud of. That show, the one amazing thing about that show is, and it ran from like 2017 and 18, I guess. The really special thing about that show is I was doing it when Mac Miller died. And we did an hour-long Mac show the week he died. And I fought with Complex about doing it because they were resistant to making it the entire show. And I fought with them and was like, if we don't do this show, no one is doing it. There's no place. BET or MTV is not going to run a special.
Right.
CNN, a news channel's not doing it. He will just, you know what I mean? And I was like, and that's my guy. Like we're doing. And for your and listen, for other people, there may be other people who pass away and it's very tragic and Complex doesn't need to do a whole show. For your people, the passing of Mac Miller needs to be recognized. He is a monster star to the people that you're trying to please. You know what I mean? And I was very proud of that show that we did. We got
Yeah, you were very pivotal on a lot of early acts. Like if they were in a XXL freshman cover, they were usually somewhere around you. And I give you props for that because you were ahead of the time.
Yeah, Mac was another one too who was
I think it was a hard situation. It was the timing was hard because it was like pause because like Complex was going through this whole thing with Joe Buttons leaving and being Complex was kind of seen as like just taking advantage of artists and creatives.
Yeah.
And then like I think, you know, what was that academic show with that left?
Everyday Struggle.
Everyday Struggle.
Everyday Struggle was like struggling, and it was just like there was just all these weird things with Complex going on.
But
like,
they'd gotten such crazy numbers too, right? Like the Joe and Axe show got the numbers were so crazy because they talked so crazy.
The Little Yachty moment, the Soulja Boy moment.
They had all these crazy, the Migos shit. There was like so much controversial shit.
Yeah.
You know, literally our show was the opposite of anything controversial. My show was like, I just want artists to come on, have a good time. We'll talk about things. I'm going to go walk my dog with them. We'll talk. We'll go do this. Me and Rico Nasty went and got our fucking nails done. Like just fun late night TV kind of shit. Listen, but I make no excuses. The reason I said the thing about failing is because I've only recently started to, and I mean recently, like in the last couple of weeks, accept it and appreciate it. And instead of being bummed about it, realize that's what makes me a fucking G. Like that I have failed way more times than I've won.
Right.
Because people think when they see me, you know, like when I meet other DJs and you know, even the way you guys greeted me, it's like, oh my God, I get the greeting of someone who's successful and I appreciate that. But like, know that you know about the few successes popped off. They're fucking great. But the 100 failures, there's 100 failures. Like I've done many things that started and stopped. Oh, I created this, I created that. That didn't work, but it worked for that person. Started the Joe Budden show. Budden became a multimillionaire. I've been in it for so many different things.
But even like Quan Epstein, right? The first hip hop podcast.
The foundation.
I mean, that was the foundation. It was amazing. And then you guys stopped. Right when it was blowing up.
Yeah, right when he got hot.
You know,
I only recently figured it out too. We were so set on making it in radio that the idea that we could pivot and be like, no, dude, we need to prioritize the podcast.
Right.
Prioritize the fucking podcast.
You guys would have been like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, I hate to put regrets on the table.
By the way, thank you and fuck you.
He's like, I'm cool with her. I'm cool with her.
Dude, I remember when you announced you guys were gonna have Rakim on the podcast, and I was so hyped for next week and shit like that.
Yeah.
Even the Kanye interview you guys had where he just spoke about truly just hip hop. Those shits were. I was in college and I was like, fuck.
Well, we're still, and I still do believe that if Syph and I are patient and smart, we will find a home for those classic episodes and they will live in a way that means something.
Yeah.
Like I wanted it to be this year because of Hip Hop 50. Like I was like, someone should really invest in like trying to tell the hip hop story through these one-ep episodes. Because we basically have the history of hip hop in one way or another told through these 300 or so episodes of the show. But listen, I'm patient with it. I'm just happy we're still doing it. And I hope I don't sound, because I often sound like I think I often sound like I'm bitter. the things that I'm saying about failing, I just really take now with a badge of honor. When I said I was going through my old radio show days and going through emails, bro, I found so many unanswered emails. Like the amount of tapes I sent out, bro. I swear to God, I do not think I ever sent out an air check, which for people who don't know radio is like what DJs send out when they're trying to get an opportunity.
Like a demo.
It's like a demo.
Yeah.
And the way you do it is you send a resume and an air check and you whatever. I don't think I ever heard back. Like, I mean that. I don't think I ever heard back. I only got the shot I got because random circumstance and hustle, and Ebro saw one of my YouTube videos, and like it was bonus to him that I did radio. He just saw me as like, oh, you do videos. That's cool. Like, my point is, like, you will not hear back from people. You will fucking fail over and over again and not hear from people. And the other day when I looked and saw how many times I reached out to people, so I work for WWE now. I saw emails I sent to my boss now that I had no memory of sending from like 17 years ago. But like, I was trying, bro.
I'm gonna give you your props though, because I remember the video when you went up to Vince McMahon and asked him for a job, and then a couple weeks ago I was watching WrestleMania and I seen you in the front in the pre-show. I was like, damn, my man finally got his fucking just due and stuff like that. So I give you props for that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, because I'm a fan. I was a fan of the Cheap Heat and stuff like that. Like I was a fan of all that shit because you were like wrestling hip hop before it was hot. Before it was,
it's another one.
Yeah,
you know, like that world. Y'all may not know how big it is.
Yeah,
but the amount, like the hip hop wrestling crossover thing is a very big thing culturally. And yeah, it was
you and Wale.
Me and Wale were really the ones who were public, and like when we found each other as friends and started talking about it, we were the first people I knew. Like I started wearing wrestling shirts in interviews, and like
you wearing one right now. Yeah.
I was wearing them in 07, 08, and was like, I just think this is cool. And it's funny because like I don't think I'm thought of as cool. Like I don't think I'm thought of as cool. I'm thought of many things. I don't think people are like, oh, that's cool, motherfucker, right there. But when you really look back at a lot of shit I was doing,
you do look a lot cooler in the past few years.
Well, I got my shit together. I can talk to you. I'm dating a cool New York chick.
Yeah. I was about to say, I don't know if like the Queen shorty kind of fixed you up a little bit.
She has some flavor to
it. She got his shape up right. You know, like
no, that is true. My shape up's gotten way, bro. Yeah. There, you know what? Half the reason shit I wanted to do didn't work out is because my shape up was trash. Let's be honest. My shape up used to be terrible.
Yo, why do you think like? I feel like you're unappreciated in hip hop.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm glad you feel. I'm glad you feel that way. So I do. So I no. I feel simultaneously incredibly appreciated.
Because it's like you just said, you do all these. You stay so busy, right? And you're like constantly everything. Like I always say that hip hop saved my life. Like without hip hop, I live and breathe. Almost everything I do is about hip hop. It touches. Even if I'm watching comedy, I'm absorbing it in a hip hop way. And you know what I'm saying? Like where it becomes a part of you. And I feel like you've done so much. You've had your hands in so many projects and so many things with hip hop. And like, I just feel like everyone's always like talking shit or you're beefing with you or shitting on.
Yeah.
I like recent years, like Culture Vulture, like, you know, and all of this shit. And
I know, which came like later, which made no sense. I'm like, how do you come now?
It was around, the whole time when, you know, like with BLM and everyone was kind of saying that black culture was getting appropriated by everybody. You know?
And by the way, because
you're one of many that got accused of culture vulture.
Oh yeah. But a lot of them deserve it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I remember one day me and Bootleg Kev ended up on a thing one day. They showed Vlad, Adam 22. Bootleg Kev and me.
I'm sorry. That's.
I was like, y'all are not even doing.
That's a reach.
You're not even understand. It's so frustrating. But here's the thing. I volunteered for this life, and I have been accepted widely, at least by the people who matter. I've been accepted to give my opinions. You know what I mean? And like, there was never me before me. And there really hasn't been a me since me, if we're being honest.
That's true.
A white hip-hop DJ who speaks and gives opinions that are sometimes negative and like out loud about hip-hop. I mean, like, there are a lot of people who now approximate it, but in terms of like, not only are you white and from the suburbs, which has its own things that come with it, and right, and that I need to deal with because that's my life and I chose to do this, but also you're willing to like talk shit and get into it. You're not just an appreciator of the art, but you were willing to call out big people and be like, I don't fuck with this. That wasn't done before me, and it really hasn't been done that much since. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen other people who get close to the direction I go.
So when you do things like that, do you feel like sometimes you feel like, oh shit, I should not have said that?
Yeah, now I do. I didn't then.
Because I remember that whole thing with Nicki Minaj at Summer Jam. When you was on the stage and you was like shitting on her song, Super Bass or whatever.
No, not Super
Starship.
Bass. Starship, okay, whatever, same shit.
You was,
He's not lying though. He's not lying.
I mean, you wasn't lying, but didn't you feel like after you said that, you was like, I should not have said that shit. Especially
you were introing somebody, right? And you said this is
entering
like
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, and you're saying like it's time for some real hip hop, not like this Starship, you know.
Yes.
Shit, they're playing over there.
Yep, right? And it was streaming on her page.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay. It's funny. I have mixed feelings about it. I go back and forth. Like, some things I regret saying. You know, that one, I actually have more regret that when I apologized to her, that I had to sit there and just like eat shit from her on camera.
Oh yeah.
That's what honestly, that's my regret now. I should not have eaten shit because it's 10 years later, and I'm not trying to give you guys the viral clip to move around. She's literally come out and said, I hate that song. She has straight up said every word publicly except Peter Rosenberg was right. She literally, go look up the quote right now, Google it. Hates the song, regrets the song. And I ended up having to apologize. She had to tell me that I wasn't smart, that me being a man and me being white and all these things, which by the way, there's some things loaded in that are valid, of course. But but that wasn't what had to do anything with my opinion.
And you didn't shit on the song. You just said,
no, I shit on the song. I didn't shit on her.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was dope, but I did shit on that song. I will own that. And it was an inappropriate place and time situation, but I shouldn't have had to sit there and grovel over a fucking opinion. And at the time, it was the only play that made sense. And, I guess I did feel bad. I didn't want to hurt her feelings, certainly. And she was on our show. I should not have said that. But like, that's
because you was caught up in the moment because you was in front of a huge hip hop crowd.
It's exactly, and it's more than that. I always felt, probably because I'm white, an extra chip on my shoulder that I have to prove my commitment to hip hop even more.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to be willing to stand it on stage and yell it with a mic. I have to. It's my obligation to fucking DJ Premier. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that, I think, is like baked into me. And I think sometimes that gets mixed up in my, I am a white person of privilege from the suburbs I came into the station with a little bit of like, I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
I did have a little bit of white teenager who says, go fuck yourself, mom. Like, there was a little bit, I didn't say that to my mom, but in terms of how I handle myself on the radio, but the truth of the matter is, tell me then, who would I have been if I wasn't that guy? Like, how would I have ever gotten the respect from my colleagues and the artists I admire? How would I have ever really gotten them to pay attention to me if I didn't have the balls to say some things weren't good? That's what I had to do. And God, I praise the stuff that was good, but like you brought up some of the things I did. I got way more credit. I get way more credit for being the asshole than I get for you're the first guy who played Tyler, the Creator, Frank Ocean, Earl Sweatshirt, Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Mac Miller. I get a lot more of you're such a fucking asshole. And by the way, so many more people that you've never heard of before, who are only around the way people in New York, who the big moment for their career was when I was playing their record for 6 months. No one remembers that part. They remember I remember your beef with Nicki Minaj. I remember your shit with Chuck D or Jay Electronica or whoever, all the different people I've had shit with over the years.
I forgot about the Chuck D situation.
That one I regret.
Wait, what's the Chuck D situation? Wait, I kind of want to touch on.
He rolled his eyes.
Wait, I want to talk about the Nicki Minaj real quick. I think the optics is just bad that a white guy on the mic is like talking about what's hip hop and what's not hip hop and judging a black woman
Correct.
in hip hop and saying what she's doing is not hip hop. You know what I mean?
I agree 100% that it's optically terrible.
Yeah.
Right? So because it's optically terrible.
Like Black Twitter will destroy you.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I mean, in some ways I was destroyed. In some ways I blew up way more because of it. Like, and people like it was both. But you're right,
there was a lot of people like at that time. We were like, Starships is not. You know, that's not hip hop. That's some EDM crossover shit. And like, I remember seeing it at the time, and I was like, he's kind of right.
Yeah,
but it's so crazy now because all her catalog is like, it's more relevant now than ever.
After that whole debacle, her next album's her best album.
Yeah,
it's the most hip. Yes, it's the most hip hop one she ever made.
And that's because of you.
I mean, listen. You said it. I didn't say it.
We got hip hop has to thank you for that.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Thanks for Pink Print.
I mean, listen. Here's the thing: we can all laugh about it, and it is funny, but the truth is, we can't act like that part of that did not influence where she went.
Get under her skin.
Yeah. No. Listen. I became very cool with her for a while after we talked, and I do want to emphasize, optically, I do understand why it was bad.
Yeah.
But the optics aren't always truth. Like the reality was, it was a hip hop DJ saying he didn't like a really dope hip hop artist making a blatant attempt to go pop. That is not a really crazy thing to say. Time and place bad, complexion, gender bad, all those different things. Okay, I hear you. But the actual thing that happened, that was just some hip hop shit. And that, to me, I always felt that was like sort of what I was raised on, was like being the kind of people like DJs, hip hop DJs are about that shit. Like I'm thinking about DJ Premier yelling on fucking interludes on Moment of Truth. Like I'm thinking about Funk Flex calling people out and saying this shit won't stand, this shit is trash, you need to come with more shit.
Well, you know, all these things kind of define your career, right? Because it defines how you started the shit, right? And then how you handled the shit, and then how you bounce back from the shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone just goes through all of that.
And by the way,
especially with you guys in media and on the radio and
shit.
It's
so easy just to point the finger and shit.
I'm surprised you don't have more shit, but I want to hear about this Chuck D.
Nah, that Chuck one is... Chuck D was more, again, that was more of me not understanding my privilege. Early on, I would just like talk shit, and I got to a certain place of being like, I'm on Hot 97 and I have the microphone and I earned this and I'm going to say what I'm going to say. So basically the short of it is, I'll just give you the short non-dramatic version because him and I are totally good. It's all good.
Right.
Basically, something happened at Summer Jam. He talked about it in some way where it was negative, where he took shots at Hot 97. Yeah. I unnecessarily decided to defend Hot 97. I really should have just laid out and let someone else handle that. Again, optically bad, just not the move to make. I did it, and in doing so, was a dick, was like an arrogant dick. Like I said, like, no one made you president of hip hop or something like that. You know? Some dumb dickish.
Not Chuck D, man.
Thanks. Where were you then, dickhead? So that didn't play well.
Right.
And I, and this is another thing I'm proud of, right? Like, when I make mistakes, unequivocally apologize. It's like not very customary. But like if you literally Google Peter Rosenberg apologizes, many things will come up of me being like, hey, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. And that was one of those things where I just, even if I felt like I needed to defend Hot 97, I didn't need to defend Hot 97 against Chuck D. Like Chuck D is in hip hop a person, a figure who's beyond reproach. So it wasn't my place. And it wasn't necessary. So I apologized. Him and I were cool, seen each other since then, interacted since then. But yeah, that was one that I was like, oof.
Well, is the beef between all you media guys, so like you and like, I don't know, like even you and Joe Buttons go at it.
Oh no, but Joe's my friend.
He is. I mean, you looked out for him so much.
He's looked out for, well, he hasn't looked out for me, but I love him.
I can't lie, because I was a fan of I'll name this podcast later, and I was telling the guys, I'm like, Peter was there in the first few episodes. Like he would come in and in the studio shit like that. I'm like, people don't know that he was there. I think you kind of pushed him into that situation.
Well, yeah, I heard he just talked about it. I haven't seen it yet, but he was on Drink Champs and he supposedly told the story somewhat. But yeah, that just started on my couch. Me, him, and my friend
Maritza.
And Marissa Mendez. Me, him, and Marissa. Marissa brought him over, was like, hey, can you help him? We have some ideas. We want to talk about it, blah, blah. I found a studio for them. They stayed at that studio for like a year. Listen, I partially blame myself, not partially, I significantly blame myself for not being more a part of it. I wasn't around. Like I was.
Yeah, you were busy.
I was busy.
Shit going on.
But now in retrospect, I wasn't nearly as busy as I am now. I fucking had time to do it. Like relative to now, I had time, but I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to like start my like imprint of podcast, but I didn't have the business in order. So if you look at the first episodes of his podcast, my logo's on them. I had a logo back then and my logo's on there. I'm the first voice of the first episode. You know, and I am proud of that because I'm proud of where Joe's gone, obviously. I mean, it's kind of historic. Like, you know, I started the first hip hop podcast and the biggest hip hop podcast.
Yeah, he's number one right now,
yeah. I don't think it's tough to argue there's ever been a bigger one. You know, Drink Champs is certainly making their play for it now, but Joe's longevity at this point
consistency was incredible.
Is really crazy. But listen,
but is that beef?
It didn't take rocket science to know that Joe Budden was good at talking. Everyone knew Joe was a good talker.
Yeah. But like when you guys are beefing, like you and academics and what was that Hollywood Unlocked? Jason Lee. Is that like real?
I mean, listen, the academic shit is he's made it super real. I mean, to the point that I don't even talk about him anymore because when you just start like publicly violating the women in my life, now I can't. Now there's
overstepping.
Yeah.
Now there's no more conversation. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, because I was talking to him. I'm like, yo, like Peter's in like WWE. Is this like this whole WWE was like,
like
you know what I'm saying?
Working?
Like, yeah, because you guys like in the same industry.
You thought it was scripted.
Yeah, no, not scripted, but I think it's understood.
Like just having fun.
It's kind of like if I mention you in my podcast, even if I'm talking shit about you, it's still kind of a look.
The only person,
you know what I'm saying?
The only person that I would say it's like that with
is Joe.
Like if I mention Joe. If I like him, go on my podcast and say something about Joe being a dick, or I tweet about him, I know he's likely going to respond, and I know he's not going to care.
Yeah,
like it's just, and it's not a big deal. Everyone else has been,
it's real,
somewhat varying degrees of personal.
Yeah,
you know, like depending on the level. I'm trying my hardest in this current iteration of my life to not do that. It's not the energy that like matches me as a person. Yeah. So I don't like having it. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't know if that makes me, you know, like when I beefed with Ak at some point, I then DM'd him afterwards and was like, dude, I'm sorry. I don't want to fucking punch you. This dumb shit. You know, I basically tried to make it cool. Now, of course, he turned that and flipped it into me cop and please, and I'm scared and all these different things.
Yeah. It's
not that. I just feel guilty when I get it. I don't want to be a person who's publicly talking about smacking other adults. Like,
But is that really the only way you can contact him is by DMing? You can't hit up Joe and be like,
I wouldn't.
And like, yo, can I get Ak's number? I want to squash this shit out. You wouldn't do that?
I don't know. I mean, he saw my DM. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to go. I don't need to take extra steps. I sent a note.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's going to see it. The fact of the matter is, like I said, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like,
that
was like 5 rants about women in my life ago. Where at that point, the second that happened, like the fact that you could be in a world where you don't understand the line and you take the line to that degree, and you know that means now that for the rest of your life, that's going to be remembered.
Yeah.
Like, that is so short-sighted that I'm just like, cool, we're good. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't need to mention you ever again.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to respond when someone starts talking about your wife or your kids. You know what I mean? Like, to me, at that point, to be like, what, I'm going to yell louder or I'm going to be threatening? You know how many different corporations I work for? I just have to say, okay, that's an interesting choice you've made.
WWE just made 12 billion, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a Disney. I have a Disney card. Like, you guys need to go to Disneyland this year. Like, I got you. Like, I can't. I'm not getting into frivolous internet beef. And
take the high road.
I've made that mistake before. I'm not going to make it again. Listen, there's room for everyone to be successful. I probably, again, you want to say regrets? There have been times when I took shots at academics I didn't need to take. Again, it's me. I can be self-righteous. I see something I don't like, and I feel the need to be the one to speak on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes everyone knows the thing that I think already.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop it. So all I end up doing is being the one who gets the beef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to be hip hop? I said to Chuck D.
Well, you're the easiest target.
And then I'm the easiest target.
Yeah.
There's no real
if I had to aim at anyone, I'd aim at you. Honestly, you know what I mean?
You're totally safe. You could say the craziest shit about me, and you're generally going to be pretty safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why, like I said, it was so dumb all those years ago that I said to Chuck D, like, no one made you president. No one made me president of hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't need to speak out for every show, DJ, artist who I think promotes bullshit. Let people make their own decisions. I felt like that. I had a cape. I had like a HH cape on my back that was like, I'm going to fight for it always. People know what I do. Promote positive artists. If other people want to consume shit that you deem to be whack, they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to do that. It's not my place.
But you are the most knowledgeable figure in hip hop.
By the way, that you made that quote. It says, I know what you're talking about. It says somewhere on my Wikipedia page, Rosenberg once said that like he could go head to head with anyone when it comes to hip hop knowledge or something like that.
Yes.
You know how
funny you
old
say
that quote is?
Wait, let me. I will go toe to toe with almost anyone in terms of knowledge.
Almost
anyone in terms of knowledge, trivia, and love of this music.
Yeah.
And we're going to put that to the test.
How are we
now.
doing that? You're going to, I come here, I make time during a busy Vegas trip.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So, you know, Jonathan Schechter, Shecky Green, co-founder of the Source magazine.
He was in Big Man on Campus.
Big Man on Campus.
BMOC.
Harvard grad, hip hop historian, founder of Game Records, Hip Hop Honeys.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. Did Game too? Yeah.
Yeah. So I hit him up and I said, you're coming on the show. So he lives in Vegas. He wanted to say what's up.
Yeah.
But he put together a 4-question quiz.
Oh God.
That you can wait.
From John Schechter?
Yeah.
He's like.
And by the way, I tried to get him here, but he was just too busy. And I told him, I'm like, we're
gonna have you go against Neva here.
Our hip hop historian.
Neva is our hip hop historian when we go back.
He's from the Bronx, by the way. Just gonna throw it out.
This is 4 questions.
And older than me.
Yeah.
older
Show it Schechter.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. That's a shaky.
So this is question number 1.
I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, me too. If he asks some shit about like the Treacherous 3, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Well, how should we do this? Whoever knows the answers, what? Raise their hand or what? Or just says whatever?
The way we do it on our morning show is the person says their own name.
Okay, so you got to say Peter, you got to say Neva.
Okay.
So it's like a buzzer, but just say your name.
Okay.
Here we go.
Question number 1. Who produced Sucker MCs?
Peter. Rick Rubin.
Wrong.
Nope. Larry Smith.
Oh, Larry Smith.
Right.
1 point for Neva.
You're keeping
And
score.
that was so easy.
You're keeping score.
Number 1, Peter 0.
Yeah, Larry Smith.
All right.
Fuck, that's easy.
All right, number 2.
Hold on, I got to remember not get caught up in just saying my name first. That's how we play it in the morning. You have to get your name in first. You got no shot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Take that approach. I'm gonna sit back and think. Here we go.
Okay. What group was DJ Muggs in before Cypress Hill?
Never. 783.
Yeah, correct.
Wow. By the way, 783 has come up on one ep like 4 times, and every time I'm like, what was 783? But you do see the record around.
By the way, he asked me all these questions first.
You didn't know.
Before he gave me, I didn't know these first 2.
783 is a tough one.
I only knew the last one.
Never might have learned that on one ep, by the way.
Maybe.
I forgot who brought it up, but someone brought it up.
All right. Question number 3 from Shecky Green. How did EPMD originally spell their name?
Peter.
Peter.
EPEEMD?
Yes, correct.
There you go.
2-1.
2-1.
Actually, I knew that one, but you said your name first.
Well, never 3 for 3, huh? You knew?
Yeah, he knows
I did know that one.
Wow.
Actually, and that's on their first 12-inch.
Yeah.
EEPMD.
He sent me a picture of it.
So far, the only hard one was 7A3. I mean, I just completely botched fucking Rick for Larry Smith, but go ahead.
Last question. What were Mobb Deep called before they were Mobb Deep?
Never. Oh, man.
Never.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peter, you got anything?
Man, I know this shit.
I actually knew this.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like you could, I could tell you their first single, their first album,
Me too. Yeah.
everything, but I don't remember.
It is the most backpack name you've ever heard.
And when you say it, I'm gonna go, oh yeah, I remember that from Prodigy's book. What was it?
I forgot that.
Poetical Prophets.
Poetical Prophet.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. So 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
So I win.
By the way,
Never. You are now the self-proclaimed most knowledgeable figure in hip hop.
If you beat the guy who claimed, that means you're the new self-proclaimed.
There you go.
And by the way, the whole thing would have been flipped if I just didn't fuck up Larry Smith. It would have been a 2-1 win for me, and I'm celebrating tonight.
Yeah. That was icon versus icon, literally.
Oh man! And so I'm curious because I know you've been doing this great thing on Hot 97, which is like in celebration of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. You guys have been going through every year of hip hop and picking like the best songs, right, from each year.
Trying to, yeah.
And I thought it was funny. Like my boy was telling me in New York because he's been listening to it. He's been glued to it. But you've been having all the New York listeners and everyone in the tri-state voting. So you guys would pick the songs.
Yeah, we did it today. Yeah,
yeah, and then everyone would vote for it. And I heard like the Nicki Minaj barbs were kind of fucking up the votes.
Sabotaging you again.
I wasn't involved. I think my pick may have gotten in anyway. Also, but yes, Laura brought up Roman's Revenge.
Right.
And by the way, it's not like I don't think Nicki should have a song in the top 50. I was like, how'd you pick Roman's Revenge? Not that it's not even a really good song. I was just like, it's not iconic enough to be in that conversation. I care, again, here's me making myself president, but I did come up with this entire bit, so I do have the right to say this. I feel like every song that we suggest, you could legitimately argue. Listen, there's never going to be a proper top 50. It's insane. You could do a top 5,000 and that would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Top 50 is fucking stupid. It's just for fun.
Very hard.
But it's got to at least be ones that you could make an argument for. And I thought Roman's Revenge was a tough one to make an argument for. Although she spits on it big time. I just don't know that I think it's...
Yeah, I don't think that should have been a pick.
I would have nominated Monsters versus the one for Kanye West.
I know.
Or even Moment for Life would have been a...
I know.
But I don't know. Moment for Life's tough for me because I don't like her rapping on that nearly as much as I do on Roman's Revenge.
Yeah.
It's like...
that wasn't even a single, right? That was just an album.
Wasn't Eminem on the remix?
Wait, which
Eminem's on the original.
On the original, yeah. I mean,
it's a half M record. I don't know. I might have taken. There's a bunch I would consider. It's hard, man. With the newer artists, it's hard for me. I lean so much towards the old shit that like, I try. Although when we did some songs post 2009. Here's what blew my mind. We did a 29 to 2020 thing. And the two songs that went in were Meek, Dreams and Nightmares, which I think is totally appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
That's appropriate.
And the second one was J. Cole, No Role Models, which shocked me. It beat Sicko Mode. It beat Paris, Jay and Kanye.
That's hard.
Damn.
It beat a lot of shit.
That song is, there's been a revival for that song recently.
No Role Models?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in like the top Billboard 100 right now. It's in the top 20 or 50.
It's used on TikTok a lot.
I'm about to say that it had to be, right?
Yeah.
First things first.
These songs just get back in rotation. So it's either a TikTok phenomena or just like kids are just listening to it.
It's so funny. I've just like, I love J. Cole albums and never fall in love with his singles.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know why that is.
But that was one of the
That's on the better
classic
end.
albums.
Yeah. That's on 2014.
No, it's on Forest Hills Drive. Yeah, that's
the more club playable singles that he does have.
which is crazy.
Right.
Which makes his career so amazing, by the way, that like that's considered like a big crazy hit for him. That it was not considered. It became a big crazy hit. The fact that happened when you hear it sonically, it's such a testament to how much people
So
love
slow and
Did you ever see that video where they were kind of saying how Jay-Z never ran a hip hop era in his whole career?
You mean a hip hop?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was never the #1 guy for 1 year.
Yeah, he was like never the top G in any 1 year when he was out.
I mean, except
Because your top 50, for what you guys are doing on Hot 97.
Yeah.
It made me think about that video, and I was talking with these dudes, and we were like arguing.
I was fighting.
Yeah, for like, I don't know, 30 minutes about it. And we were like, because I was like, hey, I'm going to bring it up with Peter and see what he thinks about that shit.
Well, it's interesting. If you get into the breakdown of numbers, I understand the argument, right? Like you had 98 was X, and then 50 comes along, and then there's M, and then there's this. I know the argument, but I could also argue that Jay has been essentially the #1 guy in rap for like the last 20. If you wanted to, in terms of like what his name means, how much back catalog he's selling, all the other things he does. So like, it just depends on what you're basing it on. I mean, yeah, did he ever have the biggest project of a year. I'm not sure. 2001 though, that blueprint to me is right there in the conversation for running 2001.
Yeah, because they're saying Ludacris was 2001.
That's horseshit. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love.
No, wasn't it Nelly? Or?
Was it Nelly or Ludacris?
I think it was.
Okay,
Nelly.
so what? So
it was Ludacris. It was area codes and all that fucking.
So either one, whether it's Luda or Nelly, no disrespect, and I love Luda, and I really enjoy Nelly too in different ways. They had huge years, and Nelly sold a shit ton of records. Of course, I mean, I think Nelly went diamond, right? Like
he did, yeah.
It's fucking crazy what he did. If that's the only thing, see, and here's why I end up getting arguments about hip hop, because that's just not the only thing. Like. Those albums weren't better. Luda, God bless him, and Nelly did not drop albums that year that were better than Hov's album. So yeah, I guess they ran it because everyone goes right to sales. But you're telling me you sit right now and you're more likely to throw in one of those albums than you are to throw on the Blueprint? Like,
I totally agree with you on that.
Well,
knock yourself out.
That album had shit had hits. Area Codes, Roll Out, Saturday, and Move Bitch.
Fire.
I mean, Move Bitch was crazy.
Move
Yeah,
Bitch.
I don't see a song.
I don't know about Roll Out.
I don't see I don't see a song on the Blueprint that was,
I don't know about
that
Saturday
performed better than
No song on the Blueprint performed better.
Yeah.
But which album do you listen to? Which, by the way, like...
Well, I'm a Jay-Z fan.
I mean, Blueprint's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's my number one.
That's Luda's second album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Out and Saturday is the second album.
And so here's what to me wins the argument.
Third album, actually.
And what's the name of the album again?
Word of Mouth.
It's Word of Mouth. I don't even think people would immediately remember that's the name of that record.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're a hardcore Luda fan. Listen, maybe someone from Atlanta would say, no, what? That was everything. To me, those records were commercially successful and Luda was fucking fantastic. But I don't think it should be controversial to say that Jay-Z dropped the best album of 2001. What were the other albums of 2001 that are in that conversation? Are those the only two people throw out there?
The ones that were like popping that year?
It is still like the biggest selling albums of that year.
Yeah, it was those two.
Because of course we're not discussing what the other good hip hop albums were that year. Because like I'm sure there's a couple things that we're forgetting that dropped in 01. You know, fucking Slum Village may have dropped in 01. Like what? There's other things that could have dropped in 01 that we're not even thinking about.
I mean, that year was pretty spread out. It's like a ton of R&B. Like R&B was just fucking.
Yeah,
killing.
Usher was.
I mean,
Usher's you don't have to call. That's 8001. What the fuck's the album called?
8701.
Yeah, I mean, it was the year of Missy, right?
And that was
Missy
actually Ja
killing
Rule
it.
was killing it that year too. 01.
Yeah,
Yeah, and people will say that they're like, "Oh, Ja Rule ran it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but like, do you still listen to Ja's album that much? I mean, listen, maybe I'm just a Blueprint stan, but to me, Blueprint's
number one for me for Jay-Z albums.
we were arguing about 98. Was it 98?
98, 99.
Yeah.
Because we were saying that DMX, that was DMX's year. He dropped two albums, right? And then we were just saying
But I was saying like in 98, Jay-Z had more singles, more hit singles than DMX.
And I was saying there's nothing coming close to Rough Riders Anthem to what commercially what DMX did.
I mean, Rough Riders Anthem was so huge and just crossed over.
But I feel like DMX only had like 2 or 3 good singles that year.
And I told you DMX did Woodstock and not Jay-Z.
Yeah, but the DMX, but we also talked about the DMX second album literally had almost
no
that was
singles.
nothing.
it had Slippin'.
But that was number one.
That was
right. It went number one, but it didn't have a ton of shit on it.
It didn't
Yeah,
have. I mean, I
exactly.
love Blackout. I mean, that to me is like the illest.
But Jay was on that.
You know, yeah, that was like the illest crew song ever.
Yeah.
Blackout. Bro.
Jay had in 98, are you counting that? Can I Get A?
Yep. Can I get a...
And I mean, listen, Ain't No had just faded. And that was monster status.
Yeah, that was like 96.
97. It was on 96, but remember, it was the B-side. It carried him basically to the second album, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was, Ain't No came out on Dead Presidents and then blew up months later when the album was out. And that shit rang off basically all the way up to Can I Get Up, practically.
Nah, after that, he had Volume 1. Life and Times, the one that
Well,
had,
yeah, but the problem...
when he tried to come out with the shiny suit.
I was going to say, well, that's the problem with the argument is that I skipped over Volume 1 for a reason because Sunshine didn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But wasn't Sunshine and Can I Get It almost weren't the exact same time? Because Rush Hour, when did Rush Hour drop in 97 too?
That came out the next year.
Rush Hour was
in
98?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that was pretty bad though. The Sunshine.
I know.
Although that is one
But
of
he
the...
did have Streets is Watching on that album also.
Yeah.
On the B-side of Sunshine.
Watching.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Where I'm From too.
Where I'm From?
No, that album actually in retrospect has joints, even though at the time
for sure
I wasn't that into it. I was just playing Streets is Watching and the Primo shit. It has Million and One Questions.
Yeah.
Million and One Questions remix. It has Friend or Foe 98.
It's just the cheesy songs on that album.
But now I love Sunshine too. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Sunshine was one of those songs that like really grew on me over time. There was something about the way Trackmasters like took that sample.
Yeah.
If you listen to it now, if you play that
Sounds
shit
good.
loud, yo, that shit is fucking crispy.
But anything by Trackmasters sounds good. I feel like they have.
That's not
the best,
true.
No,
That's not, no. I heard one the other day, an old 50 record that's like they use these weird sounds on certain songs that you're like. They did really well when they reused big shit. Like when they took an old sample that was already fired, they would fucking bring the hell out of it. But then there's like sort of some other records that they would do that
They
were
do
more
like their original beats or whatever. It just
like if it was for D-Dot or like the kind of just random Sony Trackmaster shit that you can go back and hear. I bet even if we go through Nas's shit, we'll find plenty of ones that we're like, I don't know.
Really? Trackmasters was like, for me, they were like hardly any misses, man.
Yeah.
During the 2000s, they was killing it. But '98 with Hard Knock Life, there was so many singles off of that. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like it was a New York thing. Like a lot of those.
It could be that
joints
also, yeah.
translated more in New York.
Yeah.
Then I mean, Money Ain't a Thing was big, right?
Yeah. It's all right.
Huge.
Money Ain't a Thing was huge, and then you had,
It's All Right, which is that was big.
It's
in New
All
York.
Right. It was like a great summer record. I remember
It was, yeah.
It's All Right is such a New York like
was,
in the club early in the night.
Yep.
That shit'll set it off.
I mean, yeah, Money Cash shows, Jigga What.
Money Cash shows was huge.
Reservoir Dogs.
But that song didn't age well. Like I hear a ton of people. Like
by
a
the
lot
way-
of people shit on Money Cash.
But then you have to have a kind of rough conversation, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Those early Swizz records don't age well. Except for Rough Riders. Like Gigamite doesn't age particularly well. You're not playing that out in a club right now. Not for a long time. Jigga, you might hit the dan.
I should fake that last. Like you said, the beginning part. Dan.
And then when you got out.
Then I get out. What's the motherfucking name after that shit?
Because it gets hard after a little while, and then I used to love my old Swizz set back in the day.
Yeah,
when you play What You Want and Got a Man, and now they just are. I mean, listen, Swizz was so new; he was a kid. Like he was messing around. When you go back and listen, the records are great, but they're tinny. They don't have like there's not a real depth to a lot of those songs.
Really?
You don't think so?
I don't know, man. I feel like they still kind of hit like his drums and shit. Always hit.
I feel like
no, he had that knock for sure.
You
I
listen to
kind
the
of feel like
instrumental.
what you're saying though. Like
Play the instrumental for Gigamite right now.
Like he did Band for TV, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit is.
That was okay.
That shit is
No,
popping.
Band from TV is awesome. That one definitely holds up. And even that, when you listen to it, though, it has the little cheesy fake scratches in it.
Yeah.
All of it was still.
You're talking about like Eve Got a Man, then I hate the and then I think he did like maybe like.
And it did What You Want. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. That was funk. That
lasted better than Got a Man.
I think that sound,
That
but
sounded
I know what you mean by Got a Man with the Triton. Everyone was just on the Triton keyboard.
Tambourine lasted a little bit longer. That's later though.
Yeah.
That
I mean, his later shit was knocking.
Wait, the
Bring 'Em
later
Out,
shit,
all that shit.
Yeah. Once he gets like to the next album,
It's Me Bitches is still.
Oh well, now once he gets there, he's fucking out of here. But like how old was he? If we do the math on how old Swizz was when he did all those early X and J singles, he was like 18, 17?
I want to say 17.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them were just the keyboard, right? He was using the basic preloaded sounds on the keyboard. So they're great, but they don't all resonate the same way they did.
I mean,
but
you're not wrong.
Rough Riders anthem though, man. That's
The Rough Riders anthem's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you like? If you had to vote, you're saying Jay-Z is 98. He caps 98.
I say 98 and 99.
I say
99 too.
Those 2 years, yeah.
I don't know why people love to find these different stats to shit on Jay-Z.
I know, man.
I'm a Jay-Z fan, don't get me wrong, but just DMX fucking.
You know why the reason why I'm curious about it is because I'm from New York. So I feel like
you're biased and you want to hear what
my
other
perspective is that
it's different.
New York, yeah. Like if someone says, "Yo, there wasn't a year that Jay-Z was running shit," I'd be like, "Yo, you're fucking crazy." But then when I see like when I see their argument, I'm kind of like, I could see
question
what
shit.
Well, like if I was in like fucking North Carolina, or if I was down south, or if I was on the West Coast, I could see what they were saying and being like, yo, I can maybe see what you're saying. Like,
But in New York, Jay had like a good 5-6
But I would,
run.
but I would never like change it. I would never want their experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would still want my New York experience when Jay-Z was just killing it.
Yeah, man.
Here's my question. In 2001, when Michael Jackson dropped his album, who got the feature for the album? Jay and Eve were the only people who got rap features for his album. I mean,
remixes too.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Yeah, of course.
And some of the best remixes ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love that. I love playing that Michael Jay-Z remix. That I still love.
Trackmasters.
Trackmaster.
Killed it, man.
Yeah.
They really did. That's a dope later Trackmasters.
Definitely.
And then the Jay-Z Maya at the same time. That was Trackmasters.
Yeah.
Killed that shit.
Crushed
too.
that. That shit knocks.
Yep.
And you know, no one even talks about the remix of Butterflies with Eve. That was so
a
good.
classic, yo. That was huge.
And it's funny. It was really big. It was really big, but I feel like the original is the one that ended up standing the test of time.
Of course.
For whatever reason.
But the remix was so hip hop. You know, they sampled
the Redman.
Tonight's the Night.
Yeah.
They sped it up. It was knocking. You ever heard that one?
No.
It's so good.
Wait, you haven't heard that?
No.
How you're the young one again?
Yeah.
You gotta play him.
But I feel like that was probably something that only got ran in fucking New York.
Nah, that was a big in DC.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
Not in LA though. That shit was not getting over there.
They didn't play the Eve Michael Jackson.
No.
You don't think?
They would play like the real top 40 shit, like the Dipset, the Ja Rule, all that shit at that time. It was running radio. Power on the 6 was playing all that.
See, this is what like fascinates me when I like talk to other motherfuckers about what happened in the last 20 to 30 years in hip hop. And their perception of what happened is like completely different.
Yeah, to LA, Dipset was the biggest thing. Like,
Wait, Dipset was a big thing?
yeah, oh, it was huge. Like Dipset was fucking huge in LA.
See, that's funny. I wouldn't have thought that
Yeah.
Dipset
But
was huge.
We didn't have anything from 99 to 2005. We didn't have shit.
When he told me like the game was
until the game. You're
Yeah,
saying.
the game was fucking our
But when
Jesus
I talk
hero.
when I talk to him about the game, like from a New York standpoint, I don't really take like the game seriously as an actual artist.
In the way
know?
that you think West Coast people do.
Yeah, West Coast,
I found that East Coast people sleep on the game big time.
Probably.
The game has 3 albums that are fucking crazy.
Documentaries one,
And the first 3 are just
LAX is 2 of them.
really fucking good.
The other one is good.
And then even since then, on every album, he has at least a handful of fucking absolute slappers.
Yeah.
And New York I'm not saying they don't like fuck with him. I think New York fucks with him.
There's
They just
been
don't
2
appreciate him as like an iconic sort of artist.
There's been 2 LA rappers that New York has taken in the past 20 years, and it was Kendrick and Game. Those are the 2 only ones.
I think my only gripe with him is that first album is a 50 Cent album.
Because of the singles?
Because all the singles, and it was just like that.
It was 50's album for
that
sure.
was 50's album, and I feel like after that album, like I was just like, where was his sound? And
He
had to, like,
lost Dr. Dre.
he had to
everything.
and then he had to reestablish this whole sound. So I felt like he really kind of like he like skipped the classes. Like, you know, like he got like kind of, I don't know.
Fast pass for sure.
Yeah, he got a fast pass, and then he was just like.
But now go back and look at the things he did in that time after, when he kind of had to rebuild up, and he did the 9,000 hour freestyles.
3,000 miles of running.
And he did the, even if you go back to literally his last album and go through and listen, listen, game albums are tough because it'll be 25 songs and 19 features and like shit like that. They're like mixtapes almost.
Is that the one with Celebration?
No, that's Jesus Piece.
Okay.
Jesus Piece has joints on it.
Yeah, that one has like the 2 Chainz record, the Umbaye, whatever it's called.
And I like this. I like the really commercial singles, like Big Sean and Wayne or something.
Lady.
Yeah, that Lady was fucking great. Like Game can make records. Game makes complete.
He's a good artist.
Game's one of the few artists who can make very complete songs. He's been doing it for a very long time, and I don't know. And when you see Game, there's also some people that you just have to give respect to sort of the space they take up. Like, you see the Game out.
Game is
the motherfucking Game is here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, not just like he's scary and imposing.
Yeah.
He's a star too. Like, you're just like, oh shit. You'll be like, if you see the Game tonight out in the club, you'll be like, yo, the Game's a bigger deal than I remember him being.
Bro, he's like 6'4", 6'5", and he's like built. Like, that motherfucker will beat people up.
Yeah, because like I'm impressed that you guys listened like to his catalog that thoroughly.
No,
I listen to a lot of West Coast shit.
Well, like yo, like
yeah, I'm surprised to hear this.
Yo, but fam, like honestly, if I had to think of one song outside of the first album, Game's first album, it's just that One Blood joint. That's the only thing that resonates.
You couldn't get far.
Couldn't get far, yeah.
Wouldn't get far.
Yeah.
But Pete
that's a Kanye song.
But that's the thing about Pete. Like he listens to the shit nobody else listens to.
Nah, that's not a that's not a Kanye
That's like a
song.
Kanye song, and he was like, "Yo, Game, you know, you gonna
got
fuck with this?" And then he just hopped on it. That was just like, "Yo, let me just hop on it on this Kanye track."
But like I was saying, like Pete is the one that's gonna listen to those shits and put them in the forefront and put them in front of you and be like, "Yo, this is cool." To listen to, and that's the shit.
Well, and I mean, I do it with the artists that have earned it from me. I'm not saying I do it these days because, like, I don't.
No, but in the
ones
early
that I fucked with?
2010s,
I was still checking.
Forefront, yeah. You were putting on Action Bronson on the radio, Danny Brown, like all these people that nobody would have gave a chance to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's
you're not wrong.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
say
I'm
it.
not surprised that he knows all this shit about the West Coast.
I fucked it. Honestly, the Game won me over on the first album with West Side Story. That song, that was always my favorite.
But that was a 50 record, though.
Yeah.
That was such a 50. He's on the hook. That was such a 50 record.
Kind of.
And that was such a great Dre track.
Yeah.
But it's not. Wait, hold on. 50's part of the chorus is.
West Side?
That's the first single of the album, right?
Yeah, but I always think of the Game part, the Crip, Blood, Essays, Asians. I mean,
Puerto Ricans.
That's Game.
Yeah.
He's shouting out everybody, name dropping.
That's what he does.
I'm telling you, that first Game album is tough, man. Because
he had a Mary J.
It has 50 Cent's.
Oh, I forgot Mary J's on there.
That was a good record.
Hate It or Love It.
Nate Dogg.
But who cares? Like, why is that why do you score less because you have a dope executive producer who's also an artist?
Because
working with
you could hear like just 50 was on fire. Like the way he put choruses together and the tracks that he picked.
I mean,
I just think it was like,
do you also say like, well, I mean, J. Rue's first album, let's be honest, it's basically a Gangstar album.
Which one?
Both.
Reasonable. Wait.
I mean, both J. Rue albums.
Oh, J. Rue.
J. Rue. I heard you say Jay-Z.
No, I was
like, Reasonable Doubt?
No, like that's like the, do we not count like the J. Rue album for him because it's a DJ Premier album or the Group Home album? It's all produced by Premier. He's got a Guru feat. They got a Guru feature on there.
Yeah.
They have this. I mean, like, I hear you, but I don't know that people should be punished because, like, if we go through the list of who came out with a lot of ill cosigns.
Well, it's not the cosign. See, like J. Rue had a Premier Gangstar's producer. I feel like the Game's first album was like co-written. It was basically like ghost written by 50 Cent.
And then 50 was on like 4 cuts on that album.
And he put the hooks together.
And all those songs was released. That's
so for me, I think it's almost like, when they were accusing Drake of having like a ghostwriter helping him with like hooks and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like Game had like the best ghostwriter or the best fucking
hook writer
and beat picker, and he was just like, everything was handed to him on a silver platter.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, just put verses in the middle of this shit.
And not only that, 50 was like the hottest rapper out at that time.
Yeah,
he
was hitting.
Lose.
Everything he was on was crazy. Every song that he was a part of on that Game album was insane. And all of those songs were originally intended for the Massacre.
Yeah.
And he gave it to Game anyway.
Did
so
you
for
hear-
me, I'm like, Game to me didn't really prove himself till
The Game says he wrote What Up Gangsta. He says that.
that's crazy.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know. Is that true?
That's what he said. He just said that.
Yeah, but Game says so much crazy.
I don't believe that.
I can't.
But think about it. All of these stories, to some degree, are going to be about who you want to believe, who wrote the history book. And in the case of 50, it's the ultimate case of the winner writes the history book, right? Like 50's written every history book.
But I mean, for me, I hear it. I hear it in that Game first album. That was like, that could have been a G Unit album.
Yeah.
And like Tony Yayo could have been on the
G Unit album.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, the G Unit album has fire. But that's all the more reason you should go back and listen to Game shit later, because that's the part that makes you on your New York shit.
If you want me to listen to a Game album, which one? The second and the third one?
I would say LAX is probably
LAX is good.
LAX.
But honestly, I've enjoyed his last couple. So
The Doctor's Advocate is a reach because he's trying to find himself. But LAX is pretty good. Another thing, he's a Lil Wayne feature. My Life is on there. Here's a few actually. Yeah, but nothing's gonna beat that first one.
All right, for you, Peter.
especially for you, especially if you're like, when you're a New Yorker who wants to hear. I mean, it may not hit the same way, but
For you, Peter, I'll check it.
Give it a shot. I like the game. Okay.
You're not gonna go see Usher right here?
I'm going to see Usher tomorrow.
Oh, that should be fun. Go to the after party. He usually goes and hangs out too.
Yeah,
and it's super dope.
Have you guys been to the show yet?
Cricket has.
Cricket, yeah.
Was it good?
It's great. It's great.
Is it just a straight up, like at first when I saw things about it, I thought it looked like a Vegas show with like that looked different. Is it just a straight up concert?
It's a straight up concert, but it's just like the way he puts it together. It's like a ride through Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not seated. Is it like it's like a regular arena viewing experience?
It's like
not
a
like
theater.
It's like a small. It's like the MSG theater. You know
it's
what
more
I'm saying?
like a theater.
Yeah.
So when I see videos of everyone standing up close, is that more up close? And as it goes up, is it more like a regular sort of deal, or it's just as the show goes on, people start standing up?
I think everyone's just kind of sitting, but it's a fucking party. Like DJ Mars DJs the beginning, and he's just like dropping all these 2,000 hits. Everyone's dancing. They're singing to Get Low, and then the concert starts, and it's just like it's just like a big party. It was one of the most entertaining concerts I've been to. You
just got me excited for it.
I'm gonna say like production budget wise, it's not like the craziest shit, but his catalog and the way he performs it is just like.
Yeah, you forget how many songs he has.
Yeah, you're just like,
that's the thing I'm looking forward to is the times when I'm like, oh shit, this and this and this. Like it's not like I like live my life as a huge Usher fan, but it's like he's so as DJs, he's such like a ubiquitous part of your life that you just kind of like enjoy.
Yeah, of course.
And on the record is a dope ass club too. It's nothing.
Where's on the record again?
Across the hall from the theater.
Oh, literally right there.
It's in the same building.
Park MGM.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys DJ at OTR at On the Record. Yeah. So like if you know they've done the Usher after parties a
They're
bunch
fun
of times.
as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never was DJing one
Get
time.
you VIP access, hang out in the DJ booth. You won't be in the crowd. You'll be nice and safe, and you know.
You're bothering the DJ, start requesting shit.
And it's cool because like you have like Brian Michael Cops will get on and he'll start DJing out of nowhere. And
Oh, really?
Like,
What's he like as a DJ?
Just good selection.
No, but you want to check out the vinyl room.
That's where it pops
You would love
off.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they don't let everybody in there.
Yeah.
And then like that's when Usher will go there and he'll just fucking hang out, and then you'll hear like classics or like, you know, old throwbacks.
And there's vinyls on the wall.
And everyone's just singing along. It's like a house party inside, like a very small, intimate house party.
It's probably the size of this room.
Actually, that's just probably going to rain tomorrow because the night before the fight, it might actually be popping off tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be it'll be
right,
fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have Usher, like Never was DJ one time and Usher started singing to him, requesting a song by singing it to him. And it was a funny shit.
That sounded nuts at first, but now I get it.
Yeah. But you even like there's a video of him going like, "Hey man, do you have a blah 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 blah?"
And then Never's like, "I got you."
I had like a mini concert.
And I recorded. I was
But
like,
it sounds like you can't understand what he's saying, but you're like, yeah.
But he's
I
like
got it.
singing to Never. And the
And were you able to figure it out every time?
Yeah. I was like, I got you. Don't worry about it.
What era was he going to?
He was like, you remind me, Patrice Rushen.
Because you were in that era, so he just kept. He was like,
got it.
He was playing like all the classics.
80s
Luther
R&B.
Vandross.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these guys, are you playing Serato or you playing vinyl?
Serato.
That was Serato now, but it was a vinyl in the beginning.
But
For,
that's how the Anderson .Paak like DJing thing started in this vinyl room at On the Record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just hopped on. And
So like they were playing vinyl, and he just started hopping on and wanting to play vinyl. And Eddie McDonald, who's like the entertainment director there, was handing him records. And then it just became this a thing after their Silk Sonic shows. So then everyone's like, Anderson .Paak's DJing, and then all these videos started going out. And then he was like, yo, like,
I'm DJ Pee Wee.
I'm DJ Pee Wee now. And then all of a sudden,
He's doing festivals and shit.
yeah, like, yeah.
Is he super out of here right now as a DJ?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know. Is he super out of here right now as a DJ?
He's just at Coachella.
Yeah. He's going back to Coachella. They called him back for this weekend again to do. On
He
Friday.
did the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did all that.
All these big
That was
events.
like one of the first things. As soon as he came out, the Met Gala was like, hey, we want Pee Wee to DJ.
Yep.
And they do
Definitely,
45s a lot, so it's a lot different.
Yeah. And he's doing Serato sometimes or just only vinyl?
All vinyl.
Only vinyl.
Only
No
vinyl.
Serato.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth checking out on tomorrow night.
Yo, I fucking moved my turntables to my my beach house, And so I don't even have like my vinyl turntables, and a lot of my records are now my beach house.
By the way, what a flex, a beach house.
No, that was the flex part.
I didn't even hear anything he said.
He said beach house.
I was just like, just heard beach, and then I started wondering, like, where's the beach
Yeah,
house?
No,
Hampton?
By the way, it's in New York. It's very modest. It's a very modest beach house. It's not that expensive. But I was like, oh, I want to set my turntables up here, so it'll be like, you know, I can come out here and just like wild out. But now the annoying part is whenever I get a record, the only thing I have, here comes the second flex. The only thing I have in my apartment is a jukebox. So if I want to change, if I want to hear the record, I have to fucking reload my jukebox. And
all I heard was jukebox.
Yeah, I thought about a jukebox in his house.
No, the jukebox is my old. It's the only like real life flex I have is the jukebox.
What songs you have in your jukebox?
It ranges from fucking, you know, Bob James, Take Me to the Mardi Gras.
Wow.
That's a flex.
The fucking
45?
Yeah, the promo.
Oh, the promo. Okay, that's right, yeah.
Promo 45.
Yeah.
It ranges from that to, you know, Bobby Caldwell, Open Your Eyes. A lot of sample shit to you know, to Paul Simon and fucking George Harrison, Oh Sweet Lord, and fucking David Bowie, Life on Mars. To like Grease, Frankie Valli, you know, like just fun shit. It's all over.
Sounds dope, huh? Yeah.
Oh, it's the shit, bro. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I don't want to tell other DJs to go get jukeboxes because I don't need the market to get even worse. Even though I doubt I'm ever gonna need another one. But if you can pull it off, like you find one that's workable enough to get, it's such a fucking awesome DJ thing to have. Like it's just it's to me like the ultimate celebration of all of your love for it, even though it's a different era, right? Like even though we didn't truly grow up in the jukebox era, and I have a 1961 R.O.A.D jukebox. Like this is not anything I ever saw.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it's this display, like I got one that shows the play, like it has a turntable in the middle, the records go around it, and then the records pop up, turn and play.
And then the artwork is showing and shit?
The art, not the artwork, but the label show.
Yeah.
You can see the label of the record. It's just such a fucking lovely piece. Like it's always fun. Like there's not a time. And when anyone comes over and sees it for the first time, no one's not stopping to be like, yo, what the fuck is this? This work? I love that when people are like, this work? I'm like,
Conversation piece.
Yeah, I got this shit in my house to have it not work. Now, then they'll be like, oh, I want to hear this. I'm like, that one doesn't work.
Don't choose 5.
Yeah, don't hit C3. C3 is not going to work. Go do D3.
Actually, how you collect the 45s?
That's how the jukebox thing became a thing because I got so into the 45s, and then I just like kept like being fascinated. And then I was like, as I thought about it more, I was like, oh well, 45s. The purpose of 45s was jukeboxes. That's why they were making. It wasn't because someone said 40 years from now, Rich Medina is going to play an incredible set. Like that wasn't why this was happening. It was happening because they were putting these in jukeboxes in every fucking restaurant in the country. So I'm like, well, where the fuck are these jukeboxes? So I started like looking around. I spent like a good 2 years looking for the right one. And then I found this one. It was in LA. She had to ship it across the country.
Oh shit.
Bruh, that was a nervous couple of weeks where I'm watching the truck status. And then it got there and some of the shit didn't work. I had to find someone on the East Coast who would fix it.
They had to get a crane to get it in because it wouldn't fit through the doors and the windows.
It's close. But then once I got it, it's like, it's just so fun, man. Like you reload it. I have an app where I can print the labels. You go like everything. My shit's perfect. The labels are all perfect. Funniest thing is like people who don't understand records. Well, this is such a common question. They'll be like, so can you like choose the songs or it's just like stuck with those? I was like, no, you can replace the records.
Take it out.
They didn't come loaded with records there. You put the records in. But yeah, that shit's super fun.
Wow.
That's the dumbest. It's like the dumbest and best purchase I've ever made in my life.
That's a flex.
That's a flex.
I mean, the beat.
And by the way, if you were to look, I mean, listen, an average artist who's had one successful single is wearing something more expensive on his wrist than my jukebox. But it is a flex nonetheless. It's a cool thing.
Conversational piece.
Wow.
I don't have any watches.
You got that all from appropriating hip hop.
Yeah, can you imagine? And then I went so far. I was like, let me appropriate the '60s culture too.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't even there for this.
Cypher Sounds told us, he's like, I told ROSENBERG to start calling himself the culture vulture. Double down on that shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he does. Cypher does say that, and it is funny that like, if people start saying it, I do think it would be funny to put up like emojis of a vulture, like. like it is sort of funny.
You make merch and all that. Yeah.
But you run too far with it, and then all of a sudden,
double down.
You get in trouble.
No, for me, life is it's a balance. The whole thing is like I do always want to maintain like I don't believe you can contribute to hip hop or get paid from it, both of which I do, and not actually care about the issues that surround it. So while I make jokes about it, I care about cultural appropriation. You know, that's kind of one of the things that's annoying about when it happens to me is that it's not like what they're saying is necessarily all the way untrue. I can understand why you'd say what you're saying about me. You just don't have a full perspective of the picture, because being a culture vulture is about taking. It's about it's a vulture. You're picking the bones, you're taking for yourself.
Right.
That's not the same thing as actively contributing all the time and also making money in exchange. And people, I don't think, understand that like culture vultures come in all colors and shapes and sizes. You don't have to be white to be a culture vulture.
Yeah.
You have to be someone who doesn't care about the culture and is just leeching money out of it. That's what it is. So it's easy when there's someone obviously who's not, quote, of the culture to be like, that guy's got to be a culture vulture.
Right.
But it's like, well, wait, do you know if he's committed to the culture? And do you know if he not only cares about the music? Because then you find the white people in hip hop that care about the music, but only care about the music. They don't care about the black and brown experience in America at all. Shit, they're straight up fucking Trump-loving right-wingers who listen to hip hop. Like that does exist. So because of that, I'm also keenly aware that if you don't know my background and you don't know the things that I'm passionate about and the issues that I care about, you might just think I'm just here to like be about music and make my money and go home. And you don't know that like my belief system also aligns with my cultural interests. You know what I mean? It's like, not to be that guy, but it's deeper than rap. It is like, I'm not connected to rap just because I love the music. I am connected to rap because I do care deeply, fundamentally, about all these things that go with the creation of rap. Black culture, racism, you know, injustice, all of those things tie together. And I do believe that if you are truly a contributor who cares about hip hop, if you don't have a full understanding of those things, I'm at least looking at you somewhat sideways. I do think there's an obligation if you're a white person in hip hop to take extra care.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, in the end, that's why I ended up bonding so much with someone like a Mac Miller. You know, because I was like, oh, Mac isn't just an artist. He truly gets it. Mac's level of giving back, if we were to go through the list of the amount of black artists whose careers took a huge level up because of their association with Mac, it's literally endless.
Yeah.
It's wild how many people and he was aware of it. He wasn't doing it by accident. He knew that his whiteness was opening doors, and he used those doors to have amazing artists who didn't look like him go through those doors.
Schoolboy Q being one of them.
Schoolboy Q, Vince, Earl, Tyler, SZA, like Rhapsody, the list of artists who opened for Mac. I'm forgetting mad people.
Yeah.
Like legends, people who are now legends in their own right, opened for Mac Miller on tour because he just understood what he could do with that visibility. And to me, that's a responsibility of someone who's going to be white and making money from hip hop. Like, what are you doing to also help others and put them on?
Well, I mean, idealistically, it should be every artist, right? Responsibility to do that.
No, that part too. That's the human, the human responsibility. Yes.
Yeah.
But I do think specifically racially, you have to understand the construct.
Right.
That like myself and Mac Miller, we didn't get in hip hop because we needed to, and it was our only way to, you know, that was our only way to get out of the struggle. We chose to do it because we loved it, and we're like, oh, I have supportive parents. Like, I'm going to go pursue this. I think having that awareness of the privilege that comes with that requires giving it back. And I know in this age, people will hear that and call it like snowflake bullshit, but you're a fucking tool and you're an idiot and you don't understand shit about the creation of this culture. Like, this only exists. Hip hop can only exist because of the horrifying racism of the United States. There is no hip hop without the Bronx being in shambles in the 1970s. Like, that is, you cannot escape the actual pain and suffering of black folks in this country and how that impacted the start of hip hop. So to now just jump in and be like, I just love DJing and playing tunes. And that's the fucking shitty thing about your TikToks and your Spotifys and the way kids get music is now there's no need to learn about why it's here. It's just, I like Ice Spice, you know, like that song's so cute. And that's, yeah, that's true. But now if you want to take it a step further and really make it a part of you, I do think there is an obligation to understand the history. This music has a basis in things that are not just fun and parties. You know what I mean? Like the message having the importance that it holds as a song, there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like when we voted for songs from that era, the message like crushed. And I thought that was interesting because when you think about it, the message of the message is so important about hip hop. The idea of reporting all this shit that's out there. You know, I mean, at least for me, that's how I got into it. I wasn't just like, oh, I like the beats. I was like, oh man, these NWA, they're saying some crazy stuff. What exactly are they? At first I was kind of scared by it. And then I'm like, wait, what are they saying? Yeah. That was the first I ever heard about police brutality or anything like that. That wasn't an understanding that I had in the 80s as a white kid from the burbs. Anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox and go eat dinner. I appreciate you guys, though.
Hey, yo, Peter, thanks so much for coming through, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me talk my shit.
Yeah. And
anytime.
Thank you for gracing our microphones, pause, you know, and coming through.
Hey, you.
All right, Peter Rosenberg.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
DJ PMD.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.